what must it be like on a day-to-day basis if your job is just to put together real estate development deals and build houses? Let's find out. Hey, dropping the price. See ya.
2 houses worth of shingles get stolen, and the last little bit gets stolen again. This is a new design aesthetic that I promise you won't see anywhere else.
Welcome back to Brian Bandas Builds a Business, where we build buildings, build our businesses, and build better versions of ourselves. Today, we're doing a day in the life, and it's the perfect day. Now, as I've talked about quite a bit on this channel, I'm actually not just a developer right now. I am a builder developer, meaning I have elected, for the time being, to be the general contractor and build my own projects. So my day in the life right now is a little different than maybe it was 2.5, 3 years ago when all I did was development. Now I've got a blend of boots on the ground, getting my hands dirty, working as the general contractor to build these houses, as well as the work as a developer to raise funds and find deals and put the next deals together. And today's perfect for that because we got a little bit of both. This morning, we're hitting 2 houses to do warranty work, hitting a couple other houses to check on some checklists and make sure they're ready to list, and so on and so forth. Then we're back to the office to do some developer type of work. We're gonna work on some follow-up for raising capital for a couple deals, pay some invoices, all that kind of fun stuff. Most of the developer work, most of it happens in the office. It's only once we've got a serious deal on the line where we start getting out into the field and walking projects and trying to figure out if a deal's gonna work. So we got a little bit of both today. It's a perfect day for a day in the life. Here's a day in the life of a real estate builder developer. Let's do it.
You ever bought a car and that car was a lemon, and just like every possible thing that could happen happened, everything, every possible problem? I've got one house, and I don't know, dude, it's like every time I get a call, a warranty call, it only happens on one house. Every single other one is fine, and it's when this like one unit is just the gift that keeps on giving. Had to stop and snag some aluminum tape because as we were trying to fix that drywall, we're cutting these holes to figure out what's going on, and of course we just cut a nice slice out of the ductwork right on top of the ceiling. All right, hey, warranty call done. On to the next one. So y'all know I'm a fitness guy. Right now, I'm training for a High Rocks that my wife kindly gave me for Christmas, and it's like 2 months away. And in order to do well at the High Rocks, I definitely need to, I need to be leaner. Like, it's really running heavy. And so I'm eating a little bit lighter. Nothing crazy, just a little bit. It's too light this morning. I just got like nauseous. I was so hungry. So I had to snag me a little protein bar. All right, on to the next one now, for real.
All right, so we're done with the first warranty call. We're about to do the second. And that's something, man, for those of you who are watching this channel because you're starting to develop, wanting to develop, I've definitely talked to and heard from a number of people who are sort of not sure if they want to build their own stuff. I would say one of the primary things to be aware of is just, and I've talked about it a lot, the amount of time invested. And it's not just building the projects, but for a year after you build a project and put a buyer in it, you are in charge of the warranty and taking care of the warranty. And anytime something goes wrong, you at least have to respond and figure out who needs to fix it if you're not dealing with it yourself directly. So just something to keep in mind. We were checking out roof leaks earlier, or at least trying to see if we had one. I didn't find anything. And now I'm meeting with my granite guy to figure out why this countertop is staining, and hopefully we can fix that. What's worth noting is that these 2 warranty calls are gonna take up the first couple hours of my day. By the time I drive there, check out the situation, and drive to the next location, 3 or 4 hours will be gone by the time these warranty calls are done. And that's why I harp on higher dollar per hour on the developer side.
So I got to use my CrossFit for real life purposes today on the job. At stop number 1, where we've got some warranty issues. We're trying to figure out a leak situation, and there's a flat roof, and I had to basically do a muscle up onto this flat roof. And I would say I did it successfully to get up there and try to look for maybe a source of a leak, some sort of penetration or something. But the good news, or the bad news, depending on how you look at it, is that I didn't find anything. But the good news is that I would say pretty athletically muscled up onto this flat roof to do my investigation. So stop number 1 is done.
All
All right, this is not the first time, but almost the last time you'll see these houses on this channel. They are 99% done. We're listing them in about, I don't know, 7 days or so. This window right there, you can just see it, it's just not quite closed, and the little arm thing is broken. So I'm gonna go put this trash bag with this tape over that window and try and keep a little weather out. We'll see if it makes any difference, who knows. As a perfect example of builder activity versus developer activity, these houses have been cleaned. Everything in here is stuff that I didn't want to throw away. And I either need to bring it home to my garage and sort of inventory it, or I need to move it over to the next job site. And there's really nobody to do that but me. So just continuing to give you guys examples if you're thinking about building for yourselves. It's not a good or a bad thing, as I've said, it's just a thing. I'm trying to give y'all pictures of what that looks like. My trash bag is not long enough, so I gotta like rip it open. So let's do that. Ta-da! One of the really cool features of this new house that we're offering in West Nashville is what I like to call the trash bag window. This is a new design aesthetic that I promise you won't see anywhere else. All right, trash bag window in place. Now we're off to our final stop this morning. We're gonna go by Sneed, check the fireplaces, turn on the water for their little party this afternoon. And we're back to the office to do developer work. Side note, don't you love how this kitchen turned out? I love that natural wood island. That is money. The whole thing's so light. Love it. Living room's really light. Fireplace is white with tile. It just, I'll say this house, come buy it. Ask any builder and they will tell you, and I don't think you'll find a single one to disagree. The very end of these projects, man, is so difficult. It's so nitpicky. And you're done with all the big stuff and there is a list of 1,000 tiny things. And the only way is to just like chip away at them one at a time. Holy cow. And then as soon as you finish the first 1,000, you find 1,000 more.
All right, stop 2 complete. Got a couple more stops to make and then we're heading back to the office. All right, so we're here at Sneed. One of the nice things about being a developer is that I do have, especially when I have houses that are complete or almost complete, like today is freezing. And I'm taking a little break in this house and it's done and it's warm and it's nice. I'm just sitting here at the island doing some work. It's like I have houses around the city that I can hang out in or work in, and I don't have to pay for a coffee, you know what I mean? What I'm sitting here doing though, speaking of day in the life, is probably for me the thing that I like least about this career, and that is dealing with the municipalities and the utilities. So right now I'm going back and forth about inspections for irrigation on this property. I'm going back and forth about metro inspections for gas lines and HVAC systems where I think it was inspected and they say we don't have any record, and I'm like, I have an email that says it did, that kind of thing. It can be frustrating the amount of time that I spend on what I would just sort of classify as like red tape, but it's part of the gig, and it falls under the heading of the more crap you're willing to deal with, like that video I did recently. The more crap you're willing to deal with, the more potential income and value you're able to receive back. So I have to remind myself that and like get kind of zen, because this stuff drives me freaking nuts. To give you one silly example, we had a guy come inspect our backflow 2 days ago. We had to dig up a section of it, which was frustrating, but we did it in person. We dug it up. We said like this. He said, sure, just replace this little section with copper. Okay, great. So we did that immediately. And the next day I said, it's done. Can you just swing back by, make sure it's good? The answer is I have to resubmit my re-inspection form, the same one that's been submitted 2 times. Then they call me and they can't find any record of previous inspections, including the one we had 2 days ago. So we go through this whole back and forth where I'm like, I just met you guys in person on site and I just did the one tiny thing he asked me to do. Can somebody just look at it and say it's fine? So eventually they do find a record of this inspection, and the next time they can inspect is like 8 days from now. So you want to talk about just driving you absolutely nuts. We're going to lose like
a week and a half to almost 2 weeks just trying to get them to sign off on literally 1 foot of copper pipe. So anyway, that's what I'm sitting here doing. I'm taking a little break in the kitchen of Sneed. But you know what? We have to make sure all these fireplaces work for the, there's like a wine party here later today. Kudos to my agent, Barbara, who's doing that. Let's go make sure the fireplaces work.
We're gonna start outside on this banging outdoor patio, kitchen, all that good stuff. Look at this thing, freaking heaters in the ceiling. Gosh, it's awesome. I wish I lived here. Let's see if we can get this fireplace running. Click, 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 click. Come on, give me a fire. Oh, there she is. All right, let's go check the living room. All right, living room fireplace. It's all done by remote. So fancy. On. Come on, baby. Come on now. Oh, there she is. You can't really see it real well in the daytime, but it's going. One more, master bedroom. Let's go check it out. I gotta admit, like the idea that on a freaking freezing cold day like this, that I'm gonna come over here and be like, boop, and these heaters are just gonna start blasting in the ceiling and I can chill out there. That's sexy. All right, last one. Master bedroom on. We got the beep. We wanted to hear the beep. Come on, give me a fire. Give me a fire. Oh, that's fire. That's fire literally, and that's fire like the young kids say. So you want to talk about some real developer work. One thing I have to do right now is put together an email for my partners on this property because I think we're looking at a price reduction. We've gotten some interest at this price, but just not gotten an offer. Nobody's pulled the trigger. And so I need to talk to them about, hey, here's our numbers. Here's where we're at. I think we need to reduce to this. Here's, you know, the feedback and the activity. I think we may need to make this price reduction, and here's what our final numbers and profit numbers, et cetera, will look like. I've got to send that to them. They know it's coming, so I don't blind, that's like a pretty big deal, right? Hey, we're gonna do a, you know, $100,000 price drop or whatever. You don't just flippantly do that. So I called them and said, hey, we need to talk about the price on Sneed. I'm gonna email you some information, and then once you read it, let's get on a call. So to clarify, I don't just flippantly go, hey, dropping the price, see ya. I kind of prep them like this is a big deal. We're talking about people's money and their livelihood and their retirement and their net worth, and they care. So I have to care too. And frankly, we're talking about mine as well. So I care a lot. So I got to put this email together for them and talk about what I think is the best strategy to get this home sold for an amount that is profitable and beneficial for us. So probably going to do that here in the kitchen of this beautiful home and then head back to the office for some of our development office work. All right, it is time to take this glass back to the supplier because it's the wrong size. Let's do it. It's gonna be so fun. All right, stop, I don't know, 4 of the day, maybe 5 if you count the hardware store. Let me think through it. Warranty call, then lumber supplier for the glass, then the hardware store, then back to the warranty call. So here we are, stop number 5. Got to check a few things that need to be done in order to pass my framing inspection with the city. And then I'm going to, before we insulate and drywall all of this, I'm going to go through and I'm going to video each room so I can see in the future when something comes up, I can see where all of my rough-in stuff is. Where, you know, where did we run the different wires? Where did we run different pipes, etc. If we need to go in and find something or repair it, we'll be able to do so. You want to talk about lessons learned the hard way? That's one big time. Speaking of lessons learned the hard way, check this one out. So in order to try to hurry and save time, when the guys did the siding, I had them go ahead and do the tongue and groove on these deck ceilings. You see them? Okay, great. Good idea, Brian. That saves us time. Then they're done. You know, might as well have the guys do them while they're here. Except that in order to pass my framing inspection, the city inspector needs to see the framing of this deck. And so not only did I fail my framing inspection, I then had to pay my siding guys to come out and remove boards on each side. Now the framing inspector will come back, make sure he likes everything, and then I'll have to pay them again to put those boards back on. So again, lesson learned. And what I do, and what I recommend you do if you're building, is when I do something like that and I go, crap, okay, I need to make sure I don't do it next time, I put a little note on that line item on my build schedule that says, don't enclose, you know, like deck and patio ceilings, something like that, so I don't forget next time. What's interesting is this, this project started out as like
my most promising in terms of it was the most efficient yet that I had been with both my budget and my schedule. And I specifically implemented some things that I learned the hard way on the last one. And several of them have backfired, and it is just, there is no substitute for experience. That's all there is to it. The only reason they backfired is not because I did something stupid or wrong. It's that I'm trying things and I'm trying to improve, and like a lot of them are working and some of them don't. I'm gonna give you a quick example. I have been using this roofing company, but they're like turnkey. And so those of you who are familiar with the industry know that like you pay a little more for that. They're turnkey. So I said, all right, I'm gonna save thousands of dollars per house by ordering my own materials, having them delivered, and then I'll just have the roofers do the labor and I pay a lot less. So what happens? My first delivery, because it's not in the charge of the roofers, gets delivered, and before the roofers even get there, 2 houses worth of shingles get stolen. So my roofers show up, there's no shingles, they can't work, they lose a day. So then I get more shingles delivered and they roof, let's call it 80%, and the last little bit gets stolen again. So finally they fix it, except that I've never worked with these guys before, and they didn't tell me that they didn't put fascia on, and they put the drip edge right on the framing, which you're not supposed to do. I'm not gonna bore you with the details, but they did it wrong. But they basically said, hey, you didn't tell us. And I didn't, because I haven't had to tell my roofers that for the last few years. So then I had to pay them to rip the drip edge off, and it damaged a whole bunch of shingles along the edge of the house. So then I called them and I said, hey, you kind of messed up, but I kind of messed up. I'll buy all the materials. Will you please do the labor to fix this for free or for a discount? And they said, sure. And then they promptly ghosted me, and I literally have not heard from them again. So now I paid for shingles twice. I'm paying for roofing almost twice, because now I found another roofer through a friend who's been great, but came out and had to fix everything they messed up. So instead of saving a few thousand on the roof, I almost paid, all said and done, double for the roof line item on each house. It's insane. And here's the thing. There wasn't some huge stupid mistake. It was actually me taking lessons I'd learned previously, or that I thought I'd learned, and trying to improve on my process and improve on my budget. I even put extra work in by not going turnkey to save money. My point is that really all that proves is that like our ability to control things is limited, and I just have to make my peace with that reality and do my best. Anyway, let's walk through, check out where all of our rough-in electrical and plumbing and HVAC is, so that we have a record of it. Gotta do what you gotta do. Pass those city inspections. I will say this, when it's 20 something degrees out, I do start to think a little bit like, man, that desk job is probably kind of warm. All right, so I've got my video walkthroughs of both of these houses. My hands are freezing. They might fall off. But that's the first time, like it's kind of a pain, right? It's boring. I have to slowly go through and do like a 360 shot of each room to make sure I can see everything that's gonna be behind the walls, etc. But then I realized, okay, I probably spent like 5 to 7 minutes per house doing that to save myself massive trouble and heartache in the future if it's necessary. If that took 15 minutes total, man, totally worth the investment. I'm always trying to improve on what I'm doing. And so that's a sort of a silly example of it, but hey, a little better every day.
All right, I'm back at the house. Gotta grab some lunch and then head up to the office, as I've said probably 20 times now, to get some work done. And I guess in the words of Eminem, it's back to the lab again, yo. Was that cool? All right, so today I had a pretty robust day, and I'm sort of a list guy. So what I did was I wrote down everything I wanted to do in a row, all on the side of this scrap piece of paper. And then I gave myself the pleasure of scratching them off. And that helps me not only stay focused, but like realize, okay, I am making progress on the things I'm trying to do today. Already went to Foster, dropped off the glass, went to the 2 houses in West Nashville, fixed the fireplaces at Sneed, already made a couple phone calls I need. So here's what we have left. I've got some invoices to pay. I got a stack of mail, not fun. And I have a couple key phone calls to make, and then it's workout time. Some days I do my workout in the middle of the day. Some days I reward myself at the end of the day, like, oh, good job, you got there, finish line, here's the reward. The most important thing is the calls to the potential investors on this new deal. So I'm gonna do those first, And I'm somewhat self-conscious about recording this, but I think it could be educational, so let's give it a shot. Hey dude, just calling to follow up with you after the holidays. I didn't know if you had a chance to look at that deal over on Skyline in Green Hills. And if you did, I wanted to get your feedback, whether or not you want to move forward. Obviously, I'm interested to know if you or one of the investors you were talking about wants to move forward. But also interested, if you don't, just in hearing some feedback on the numbers or what would maybe cause, what would make a difference and cause you to want to move forward. So, all right, dude, hope you had a great Christmas. I'll talk to you soon. All right, voicemail, on to the next one. Another benefit of the daily one sheet that I use is that I can go back through these because I'm forgetting a couple people that I spoke with, and I can go back and look at these and look at who I called and figure it out. Are there better ways to do that? For sure, but this works. A lot of voicemails today. Hey dude, hope you had a good Christmas. Just wanted to follow up with you. I didn't know if you or anybody around you had looked at that Skyline deal or if you had any interest. I'm trying to get to a point in the next week or two where I either know if I'm moving forward or if I need to let the contract go. So if you don't have interest, I wanted to see if you could give me your 2 cents on the deal and your thoughts on the numbers. All right, dude, see ya. Another voicemail. Let's go again.
What's up, buddy?
What's up, dude? How's it going?
Man, I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Good. I like to hear that. I'm doing pretty good, man. You had a good Christmas?
I did. Yourself? How are the boys? Everybody enjoying themselves?
Yeah, honestly, everybody is awesome. Great Christmas. So getting back in the swing, man.
Good.
Hey, I was not going to ask you about Old Hickory. I was going to see if you mentioned somebody you thought might be interested in Skyline. I can't remember his name. Did y'all ever get a chance to look at that, or are you still open to looking at it with him?
Yes, I need to circle back with him. He said to check with him after Christmas, so let me talk to him tomorrow.
Okay.
I can talk to him for sure.
Yeah, if you don't mind, I just need to either need to tell the people I'm moving forward or I need to kill the deal, which that's not pressure for you to do it. I just need to know what I'm doing. So
I understand. I'll find out. I can let you know in 24 hours.
Sounds good, dude. Thank you.
No problem, man.
All right, man. I'll see you.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail. The person you're trying to reach is not available.
Let's do it again. Joe, how you doing, sir? It's Brian Bandas. Man, I hope you had a good Christmas. I am, this call's a little bit out of the blue, but I've got a luxury development deal in the Green Hills area. It's a lot that Barbara brought to me, and I'm trying to raise funds for it. I didn't know if you or maybe a friend of yours would have any interest in that, but if you do, at least tentatively, I'm happy to email you the numbers in a little more detail and see if it's something that you or somebody in your circle would be interested in investing in. All right, man. Hope you had a nice Christmas, a nice New Year. I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Another phone call.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, dude.
Hey, okay, so I'm probably gonna have to do it for next week because of the weather.
Okay. Do you want to let me know what day?
Exactly.
You want to just do a morning, just knock it out early, 9 a.m.?
Yeah. Probably on Tuesday, because I gotta watch the freezing on Friday. On Sunday, so.
Okay, yeah, let's do Tuesday at 9. I'll text him and let him know.
Okay, that's fine.
All right, dude. See ya. Thank you.
No problem.
Now it's time to go get sweaty. You guys know I like to get sweaty. I got to get my workout in. I got to keep my heart happy. You know what I mean? Got to take care of myself, break a sweat a little bit. Helps me stay sane. Let's go do it. All right, so my wife for Christmas gave me the gift of signing me up for a High Rocks race in Houston in March. So right now my workouts are particularly cardio based, a little bit longer, just about keeping the heart rate up for a while rather than going really heavy and intense for shorter periods of time. So I'm gonna keep it super simple. Every 10 seconds, I'm doing a burpee pull-up, and I'm gonna try to do that. I think the intention is to get 150 of them, so that'll take a good 25 minutes or so, but that's 25 minutes of just steady work, keeping the heart rate up. And I did this recently, and for the first 20, I'm like, this is gonna be too easy. And let me tell you, it absolutely caught up with me. So here we go.
10 down, baby. $20. All right, 50 down, 50 to go. I said 150, but I lied, I'm doing 100. Take a little break at 50. Man, it's crazy how it sneaks up on you, even though it's every 10 seconds. All right, let's get another 50, here we go. $80 down. Gotta finish strong, baby. Here we go. $100, baby. All right, 100 done. Go get sweaty if you haven't today. Now let's get back to developing real estate.
Pretty glamorous stuff. Phone calls, invoices, lots of stuff with the city. The truth is, while I'm out driving around hitting job sites, I'm making a ton of those phone calls in my car, trying to kill two birds with one stone. When I'm in between one job and the other, I'm calling Metro for inspections, and I'm calling Metro Water to get such and such inspected or approved or whatever. But the more important phone calls, like I want to make those here when I can really settle in and focus. I don't want to make those calls on the fly.
6155 is not available. The mailbox is full and cannot accept.
Just need to find a time to go look at that granite countertop for the people at Rosewood, period. Anybody else voice text? I love it. Another one down. Now, one of the things on my list is to call somebody I believe I met through the YouTube channel. He reached out to me and had some questions. Let's go for it.
Hey, Brian.
Hey, John, how you doing?
Doing great, doing great. I'm walking around Costco, but I'm free. Didn't want to miss you this time.
Are you? Okay, awesome, man. You had a couple questions. We can definitely jump right in.
When you're looking for investors, like for instance, let's say it's $700K, like with this deal you're doing now, are you looking for like a max of 10 investors, or are you comfortable going higher than that? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I don't want to go that's too many to me. On something bigger like this, I'd love to get it done in 5. So right now I've got 250 out of 700. That's 2 people. And honestly, one of them is 50, and that's because he's a close friend who has done a deal before.
Okay.
I don't think I would take less than 100 from from random people.
Got it.
I don't want too many cooks in the kitchen.
That makes sense.
And the more people in, the more I find myself trying to manage people's emotions a little bit.
Gotcha.
To me, less is better. Now, that's different than, say, like, I'm sure you've looked a little bit into like syndicating multifamily or something like that, where they bring in 50 people or whatever. I don't think I have a problem with that in general, but for this smaller stuff, the idea that I'm going to have 10 people at, 70,000 each, I'd really rather find a few people at 200 and 250 or 150 or whatever.
Okay.
So like somebody asked me on this one what the minimum was. I told them I'd like to get at least 100 for somebody to be in.
If at any point you're like, hey, I have some capacities to teach on this aspect of development, just let me know, shoot me a text. I'll learn whatever I can from you.
Yeah.
Going forward.
That sounds great, man. I'm glad we were able to get on a call. I'm sorry it took me so long. Dude, last year when you first reached out, I was in the freaking belly of the beast. I was just getting my ass kicked and I could barely think straight. And I'm like, I kept thinking, okay, I need to call that guy. I was just like trying to keep my head above water. So,
well, I love the videos. I watch them Seriously, too much probably. I love the constant feed of videos and also the encouragements to people in general. So.
Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Well, I'm encouraged by you, and I appreciate the call.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, thank you. You take care.
All right, man. You too. See ya.
All right.
That's awesome. That makes me happy. That like fills up my heart. Somebody asked me on a video recently, like, and I'm about to make a video about this, like, why would you share your secrets, that kind of thing? Like, why not? Why would I not give back and help people? Not even give back, but like, why would I not share what I've learned and try to help people? I think the person who asked that, like, their question was like, oh, you're just creating competition for yourself. Number one, I would say, like, no, I'm not. There's so much opportunity in Nashville. We're so low on housing that even if I was super selfish, that's just not relevant. And the idea that me helping somebody who's interested in doing this learn how to do it, like suddenly what? They're gonna do so much business that I can't find any houses to build? That's ridiculous. It's not gonna happen. It's not. I don't do that much business to other people either. And I just know that generosity just comes back to you. Hey, so that's been a day in the life of a real estate developer. And I would say I need to like change that, right? Because really right now I'm functioning as a builder developer where I am the general contractor on the vast majority of my projects. So my days look different now because I'm so actively involved in the build process than they did, you know, maybe 2 years ago when I wasn't building my own projects. Definitely a different flow to my day. When that was the case, I didn't start the day by hopping in the truck, going to job sites. I really started the day and most of the day occurred in the office, and it was much more about hunting down deals and hunting down investor relationships. So maybe that was the day in the life of a builder developer for now. Anyway, as usual, if you're getting something out of this, you're becoming a better developer, better real estate investor, a better entrepreneur, maybe a better person in some way, then hook me up with one of those, one of those, one of those. I'll see you next time.